You comfortable there? Make a few more adjustments?
I don't want to like fall over in the middle of this podcast. Hold on. Boop. Beep.
Yeah, holding.
Boop.
Holding.
I'm setting a timer.
Everyone.
Hold on, I'm setting a timer.
Timer or time bomb?
No, a timer.
Oh, okay.
Probably shouldn't say that in a podcast.
I mean, you're beep.
That's going to come back and bite you in the ass. No, I'm setting a timer, and it's not a timer to episode 50, which is next week of the Totally Spoiled podcast.
Can you believe it?
It's not a timer to the Oscars this weekend. Well, actually, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I'm setting a timer because did you hear that Lady Gaga and her fiance broke up?
Wait, no.
It
what?
is off.
When did this happen?
I think the news broke yesterday.
No, I liked them.
No. Time to cue Bradley Cooper to slide right into that.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, that's inappropriate.
Oh, Jesus. No, next.
Yes, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, we've seen them not only in the movie, but in real life. They are like perfect together.
I don't
Like they're goo-goo gaga all over each other.
Now you got cliches thrown left and right.
Oh, just stop.
Oh, no, you stop.
They're going to be singing at the Oscars this weekend. I think it would be like the perfect...
That's great. Just keep it professional.
The opening of Bra Gaga. No, that's not a good nickname.
What? Okay, I'm going to reel it back in. Welcome to the Totally Spoiled podcast. Roles will be reversed today. Usually I'm the one with the loose marbles. Brian, I will let you take that lead today.
Lady Cooper.
Oh my God.
Bra Gaga. Okay, I'm not good like off the dome like that. All right, so we had another incredible episode of This Is Us last night. We're going to talk about that coming up. Have you ever had a dream that you've ever had to put on hold? Because that's pretty much what the episode was about last night.
I don't know if I have that kind of power and control. If I did, that'd be freaking awesome.
All right, we'll talk about it coming up. At Brian Fink, at April on air. Thank you so much for following and subscribing to the Totally Spoiled podcast. Plus on the smart speaker, and my glasses are already fogging up. Because it's so
hot in here.
Yeah.
I actually start to... I
see it?
I see a little, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the glasses off.
You okay? Do we need to get you some fans?
Alexa, can you please fan me? Does it work like that?
No? Alexa's not responding.
Alexa,
right now.
turn the AC on in this damn room. Alexa, play the Totally Spoiled podcast on iHeartRadio. That works.
Do that.
So last week on vacation, I told you that I watched a lot of TV.
Yeah.
A lot.
So jealous.
The Abducted in Plain Sight, I watched that on Netflix.
I saw the little preview of it. Very interesting.
It's crazy. I think we'll talk about it next week. Did you get a chance to watch any of the Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Did you watch the first episode?
Also.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think we'll talk about that next week. Because that'll give us a chance to like watch everything.
Go a little bit more in depth.
Absolutely. Plus there's no This Is Us until like March 5th. So we can go into depth. I also watched, did you see Pink on Ellen?
No, you told me about this, and I heard about the slashing tires incident, but I didn't know it got more gruesome than that.
So she was playing like all the burning questions, and one of the questions was your dumbest injury. And she said that it was slashing her husband's tires at Thanksgiving, which makes me want to make my life goal to be at Pink's Thanksgiving dinner to see what that's like if she's slashing her husband's tires.
Save me an extra seat, please.
Right? So she said that as she went into the tire, the knife kind of just, her hand slid down.
Yeah.
And that's the dumbest way she's ever injured herself.
I'd rather want to erase that memory from my mind, but since I heard of it, I just really can't, and now my hand just constantly hurts.
And that actually just brought up a memory. Ugh. My mom did that once, but it wasn't slashing my dad's tires.
I was like, what'd your dad do?
It was cutting. I just have a memory of her being in the kitchen and cutting something, and it sliced, like her hand just sliced. I don't remember. I'll have to. Maybe that's another one of those stories that like isn't true. That I just have
was about to say, what's the percentage of probability that this actually happened?
I think this one actually did happen. I'll have to ask my mom.
I'm going to have to get on the phone with Miss Fink
and find out.
And ask her a lot of questions that I have.
So what's the dumbest way that you've ever injured yourself?
Oh God. I mean, I've hurt myself, and some may not. I mean, I have one that I told you forever ago, how like I fell off the roof. Like,
yeah, that's old. Silly. That's old news already in the podcast.
Yeah, so this one's just actually more embarrassing, like really embarrassing. I was like in middle school. This was in Miami. So I used to always go to my tia's house, like my aunt's house.
Thank you.
De nada. You're welcome. I got you. Yep. Yeah. So my aunt used to live next door to a family who had a boy, and I think he was only 2 years older than me, but he always came over when me and my brother and my other cousin Sammy were hanging out, and she had a pool. So I of course wanted to be cool and show off and do a front flip into
Oh God. Oh God.
You already know where this is going.
Did you hit the side?
So this is kind of gruesome. My hip hit the side, and because it was kind of like that. It wasn't like a gravel material. I don't know what it was. Just a little bit rough. It's kind of like that sandpaper material.
Okay.
Thankfully it was curved. The sides of the pool were curved. But when I tell you I scraped myself and my skin flapped.
Oh my God.
As in it yeah, I scratched myself really bad, skin pulled and lifted. That happened, and then there was blood in the pool, and then I was just a wreck. I don't know if I was crying more because of the pain or embarrassment.
So you didn't impress him.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's just say it was a good, probably solid 6 months before I ever showed my face around.
Oh my God. And just the imagery of the blood in the pool.
It wasn't fun.
It's kind of like those stories of when you pee in the pool, that gray ink.
Are you?
I don't know if that's true or not.
I think I've heard.
You found out? Yeah, you heard.
I heard. Well, maybe when I was in diapers and a baby. Maybe my mom told me, or maybe again it's that story I'm making up because I don't remember. So we'll go with any of the above options. But yeah, so that happened. Let's just say that was the first and last time I ever did a front flip into the pool.
I'd say that's a good plan.
Yeah.
The dumbest way that I've injured myself some stupid ways in the past, but I think the dumbest way I was cutting open this package it was like a cleaner for your shower.
Uh-huh.
And the package had those zip ties, really tight white ties on it.
Right.
And I had this hunting knife that I decided to use to cut it open. And I think it was Christmas Eve, actually. And the way I was cutting it, I was holding, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this with the mic, but I was holding the package and I was cutting into it, directly down towards, you know how they say when you cut, you're supposed to cut away from you. I was cutting directly towards my wrist.
Mistake number 1.
And it cut through it and pierced. You could probably still no, it's kind of gone, but I had the scar for the longest time. So the tip of this really big hunting knife went into my wrist, and then I was like, oh shit. This isn't good.
That happened.
And I pulled it out, and it was actually fine.
No blood gushing or
no
anything
blood
like
gushing.
That? Okay.
Until I put it under cold water. And then it started Niagara Falls of blood. Yes. It was so bad. And I called my friend who was a nurse, and she came over. Again, it was Christmas Eve, so it looked like I was a Jew who wasn't doing too well with Christmas Eve. But she came over, and she bandaged it and put a wrap around it.
What a good friend on Christmas Eve, too.
It was the stupid, who does that?
You.
Me. Absolutely. All right, let's do some spoiling.
Good job. Glad you're still here with us.
I'm still here.
Don't do that again.
And I don't think, literally, it was right there.
I was could it be where?
No, the tattoo doesn't cover it. It was right there. So it was right in a vein. Ugh. Oh yeah, good times.
You struck a good one there.
I struck oil on that one.
You got a good.
An absolutely amazing episode of This Is Us last night.
Oh my gosh!
And there was it was all Beth and Randall, which was great.
And can I say this? Maybe I'm weird and I'm paying attention too much to the little details. It was so weird hearing Beth being referred to as Bethany, the whole time.
Yeah.
I know it makes sense. It's when you say Matt, okay, his name is most likely Matthew. Beth, okay, Bethany.
No, I would think Elizabeth. I wouldn't think that. Yeah, I wouldn't think Bethany.
Well, okay, both are relevant. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Elizabethany from Washington, D.C.
Look, it can be a numerous amount of options. Who knows?
Yeah, it was.
It threw me off for a while. And what further threw me off is how the college-aged Beth
Looked
so much like
and
Beth
spoke
now,
like
and
her.
Spoke. I'm like, this is weird.
Like,
this is so weird.
The casting for This Is Us needs to either get an award, a free donut, a day off, something, because they are like all the
Pretty
littles.
spot on.
All the littles are just like the adults.
Yeah.
Like the teen Beth was perfect.
It's crazy.
And I mean, the young Beth was so cute too.
Oh, she was adorable too. Like, and there was similarities, but the college Beth, I was like, this is freaky.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain profile views that you saw of her, like her profile. I was like, oh my God, I was like, wait, is this Beth?
And they spoke the same way too.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We need to talk about how amazing Felicia Rashad is.
Oh my God.
What an incredible actress.
Badass.
I mean, so of course she was from The Cosby Show originally.
Right.
And then she was also just, what, you didn't know she was from The Cosby Show?
No. You know how literally, like, little to no involved my mom is with any social media, any entertainment. So I actually made her watch This Is Us with me last night. She usually does it. She's like, oh, mira, that's a lady from the Bill Cosby Show. I'm like, what, Mom? How do you know this? She's like, oh, I know. I know. I'm like, what? And it took me a while to be like, where did I know her from? And then I was like, oh my God, how does my mom know this?
You didn't know that's where she was?
No, you know how sometimes you recognize someone,
but
and
not
it takes
Felicia
you a
Rashad.
It took me, okay.
Like if you walk into the subway on Del Mabry and you see somebody in there and you're like, oh, you look for. Where do I know? Do I know you from the Totally Spoiled podcast? Okay. Where do I know you from? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Felicia Rashad?
It took me a second, okay? I said okay.
I told you that she was just recently on Empire, too.
Yes.
And she was amazing on Empire. Like, her emotion, how strong she is.
She's incredible. She's incredible. And her role from early on, aged... when she lost her husband, she was raising Zoe and Beth
and the rest of the kids,
and
who
the
were
rest
never
of the kids,
really in it.
Never really involved, but yeah, mentioned to that last powerful conversation.
Yeah, we'll get to that coming up.
Yeah, which we'll get to that.
Before we get to that,
her roles, just every part she played, just killed it.
Everything, like everything on her face, the emotion, the acting was incredible.
Everything.
Oh my God, Abe. Oh my God, Abe. What? Why? It's like deer in headlights. It's like Abraham Lincoln. Why are we talking about the president? I know President's Day was a couple of days ago. The dad was Abe.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Sorry.
It's not like we watched this episode 2 weeks ago and you're forgetting all the characters.
He hasn't been a main character. Do you know how long it took me?
Last night.
Do you know how long it would take me to actually say Randall? Wait. Randall.
Do you hear how high my voice gets? But it was literally last night.
I know. I'm throwing yourself into that one. You don't even need my assistance.
God, I love the dad so much. And like literally I fell in love with him almost like in his first scene.
Almost immediately.
And as quickly as we fell in love with him, we lost him. Oh my God, like my heart broke when they were making the announcement about the lung cancer and telling them.
I wasn't expecting that. I literally, you know what I thought? I thought it was going to be like, hey, we're moving in a different direction financially.
That's what I thought it was.
We're going to need to cut your dance classes. Not...
We're killing this character off already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Twitter went nuts. Like literally, I posted.
Oh my God.
Like in all caps. Oh my God, Abe! Not the dad. This is us. Don't take it from us. And like it, like fire, like notifications because This Is Us, of course, retweeted it. And yeah,
of course.
I'll be signing autographs later. You know,
I can't with this guy.
Yeah, but that scene when they were telling the kids, and even Zoe's reaction to it. You know,
Zoe, not even her reaction. Her reaction was the prominent, like, I think she even told the aunt, like, woman, can you give me a minute?
Yeah, because the mom's like,
can you let me
go.
process? Let's go clean the dishes. No, like, let me just let this sink in. Did I hear this right? You know what I mean? Zoe's another character that I've grown to love. On a quick
Absolutely.
side note, I've grown to love her.
Like,
She's
more
awesome.
development that they've given to her has been incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice, and if you didn't even notice his name, you're probably not even going to notice this, but did you notice at any point that he was wearing his oxygen incorrectly?
No.
So somebody tweeted back to me, it was just random off the hashtag, and she said, why isn't his oxygen on right? And she's actually an RN according to her profile. And so I tweeted back asking, I don't know anything about wearing oxygen. I would just think you just put the tubes. And it just goes around the ears. Yeah. I didn't notice him wearing it incorrect. I don't know. I wanted to see if you, but again, Abe, so I'm not even going to ask.
Can we move forward? It's just a name. Okay. What's your name? Michael?
How dare you?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, out of everything, like all the emotion and all the incredible acting last night, I think the best character in last night's episode was Beth's "I'm high AF" giggle.
Oh my gosh. Did that throw you off? Like, I could have expected that from Zoe because she's just a crazy free spirit, but Beth seems to be so, yeah. And even the initiation of, oh my God, you've been hiding this the whole time.
Behind the
genius,
picture.
behind the pictures, above the stair banister, railing.
Would that really stay that good in a Ziploc bag? I don't know. I don't know if it would stay good for that long. It might.
Who knows?
I don't know, but just they're sitting on the washer and dryer, talking, and her giggle at the end of the conversation. She's like, I was like, is that Beth?
Are they actually doing this? Is this happening?
I think that was the best character of the night.
It was great.
And then the scene when, everything about last night's episode was great. Like when she bumps into young Randall at the freshman mixer, and it was just a quick, it was just that one scene.
But then switching gears from Beth to Randall, could you see that look in Randall's face where he was like, whoa.
Done in.
Whoa.
Hooked.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is us.
High
five. You see what I did there?
Oh my God.
So did you have
Nerd
any...
alert. Nerd alert.
So bad. There's no recovering from that. Oh my God. So did the tear ticker kick in at all last night? Did anything bring a tear?
I don't know if my eyes have been really dry lately.
Maybe it's allergies.
Maybe I'm going to blame it on allergies because no, still not yet.
Really?
Not to say that the show has not been great.
Right.
I haven't had those moments.
House on Fire, Jack dying, Super Bowl episode.
Man, because I'm telling you, for the first season, I was crying, if not every show, every other show. This one, not there yet.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily cry. My heart, it was one of those, my heart kind of... I'm getting lightheaded. I think I'm losing my air around me. That conversation between Beth and that last conversation, my heart was just breaking listening to it because it was so real.
Yeah.
And just a lot of people don't get to have that conversation with their parents a lot. And it was just everything was laid out, and not only Beth being honest, but the mom being completely honest.
Isn't it adorable, for lack of other words, though, how Beth is more like her, as much as she critiques her and had issues and struggles with her in their relationship since a young age, how she is so much like her mom and has followed the same path. The mom found her safe place and her happiness and her heir, as they both called it, in her husband, in Abe. So Beth did the same thing with Randall.
Absolutely. But you think about it, in real life, that's kind of the way it is. Usually the parent that you can't stand is usually the parent that you got everything from.
And it's so funny. It's so funny to even say that and reflect on that, because by no means do I not stand my mom, but my mom and I definitely had struggles. I was very strong-willed and very independent.
And was she?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Big time.
Exactly.
Big time. And when she was set in her ways, She was set in her ways. She's come a long way now, like a lot more just relaxed. But yeah, I'm so much like her in that sense now.
That's so crazy.
It's so weird. And we talk about it now, and through the obstacles we went through, like a few years ago, oh my God, we went through a period where we didn't talk for like 2 months.
Wow.
That's unheard of.
Wow.
If you know me and my mom, we talk not once a day, multiple times a day.
Now, were you guys living together then too?
On and off. But that kind of led into the issues that we had, and we like moved away, like different cities and everything for a good while, and then like came back together. And I think it was both because we were both very stubborn. So it's crazy how like when you have a moment like Beth and her mom did, and you finally sit down and you're like ready to both be adults, hash this shit out, and move forward and just let whatever skeletons or whatever path or whatever it was in life that you were either ashamed of talking about, it was too hurtful or too upsetting. When you let it all go and let all the guards down, it just like you let the floodgates open, but at the same time your heart as well, and it's like everything is okay in the world.
And
you saw that with them.
I thought that moment was actually going to be earlier on in the episode. I thought it was going to be when Beth told her that she wasn't all right. Like when the mom was saying, "Listen, I was just trying to make sure my daughter was taken care of," and she's like, "I'm not good. I'm not good." And I thought that was going to be the moment where everything was hashed out. And then the mom just walks out.
I can definitely see that.
The mom just completely walks
Yeah.
out. But the final conversation, you could see the amazing acting not only in Felicia Rashad, but in Beth, because when the mom says she's sorry, it's like 5 seconds of Beth just like taking a breath. Like
that was amazing acting, by the way.
Yeah,
you saw it.
Exactly.
You saw it like it's almost like you felt her heartbeat stop for a few seconds, and then it was like
because that's what she's been waiting to hear from her
years.
mom. Yeah, and just like literally, she put her hand on her chest. She was like,
"This is happening."
Yes.
Oh my God, let me get a second.
Oh my God, that conversation was just
beautiful.
incredible. And I think this episode, what it did amazingly was it showed us also why Beth was the way she was with Randall telling him that he should quit the campaign. Because
Absolutely.
she pretty much got that from her mom.
You took the words out of my mouth, because that's one note I had put, and I was like, it's amazing to see the parallelism.
Yeah.
Because her mom made her quit ballet. Then again, she was a child. She didn't have much of a say, especially financially. And how Beth was trying to get Randall to do the same thing, and Randall's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, love you, love my kids,
but I
my family,
gotta go for
but
my dream.
But I'm doing this.
Yeah. And
it was amazing.
And so that brings up, just looking back, and in this situation, obviously, it was right. I mean, financially, whether or not the kid has a dream, you have to move on from it, unfortunately. There was no way in this situation that you could have stayed on that path.
And let me tell you, ballet is not cheap, especially if you're going to an extent like that. And it was neat. Whether that studio was actually ABT or not, I don't know. But in reality, like, ABT is very expensive.
Yeah,
very
I can imagine.
Expensive.
I mean, when I tried out for ballet, it was like, there's no way. This is too much for my blood.
You got pictures? Because I want to see this.
I do.
So I can blackmail you one day?
No.
For everything you put me through? This will be fun.
So, yeah. So you were a dancer growing up. You still are. Was there ever a time where you had to put that on pause for a second?
I feel like we kind of talked about this, but I don't mind bringing it back up just briefly to go back to this. When my father passed away, I took it upon myself. So it's kind of funny because there's that
parallelism right there.
Yep. I stepped away from it for about 5 years.
How old were you?
I was 12, 13 when I finally said I was going to give it up.
Like legit, This Is Us.
It's weird.
Wow.
Yeah. And it didn't make me cry somehow, but it was incredible watching it.
Now, did you take it upon yourself, or did your mom make a comment about how, listen, you should probably step away?
No, I did it because dance was always something that was me and my dad's.
Gotcha.
And when he wasn't there anymore, it's not that I didn't find the purpose to want to do it anymore. It was almost too painful.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like I couldn't. And then it wasn't until actually college. God, yeah, it was longer than, no, it was about 5 years that I picked it back up because I needed it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Very similar kind
Very
of.
similar.
Yeah. With Beth, though, it's crazy because she didn't find it again until she was like a full-blown adult.
But I thought that because Beth actually came home and she's like, I'm gonna give up dance. There's no money, and the mom said, no, you need to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So
if I may say though, I think not to say that she was a bad mom, because by no means was she. But I feel what was driving the mom to say, no, you're gonna stay in this, was because her drive to, when you start something, you finish it. It was never, and I think that's why she was so sorry, speaking with adult Beth, about not letting her pursue her passion, her love, her outlet. It wasn't because she wanted her daughter to follow her passion and her dream.
It was because she had started it.
It was the stubbornness and the way she's wired and how she thinks of, like, you started this, you're going to finish this, and you're going to get that prima role, like, lead, because that's what you trained for. And
you can kind of see it. I forget what scene it was, but you could see it in her face when they were talking once, when I think it may have been the scene when Beth said, I'm going to stop it. And she was like, no, you're going to continue. And it was almost, you could almost see it in her face was, we put 4 years of money into this, into your dream. Yeah. You're going to finish this, and you're going to get to that finish line of being in the spotlight and being the princess, or being whatever the solo.
Prima.
The prima. Having the solo. That's kind of, I completely agree with you. That I kind of saw that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think back to because as a kid, sometimes, I was talking to Melly about this on Facebook, sometimes you have to put dreams on hold to let reality take over for a bit, become an adult, and then you can go back to your dream. Yeah. And I was trying to think of, and I don't know if it's sad that thinking back, I don't really have one of those, because when I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a lawyer growing up.
Really?
Yeah, and then I fell in love with radio, so radio became my dream. So
that's neat, though. Everyone has a different story and a different path. Because was radio ever like in your vision, or did it just kind of happen?
No, I actually, I met and fell in love with what was going on with one of the nighttime DJs in town, and became friends with everybody. As much as a 15-year-old can become friends with like adults working at a radio station. And that I just fell in love with radio. And that was it. From that point on, I was bringing donuts to people just to get in, because my parents owned a donut shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my way in, was bringing, hey, would you like some donut? Hey, I'm a little 15-year-old. Would you like some donuts?
He had a little high-pitched voice
Oh,
back
my
then, too?
God, totally.
What?
Then, too, how dare you? Do I have a high-pitched voice now? Oh, but that's what's happening. My inner child is coming out when I start getting up. Like when my
voice look at that? Will you look at that?
So no, just looking back, like if I had to put a dream on hold, it would almost be putting radio on hold to go into being a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I just love to argue. I think I just spit on you, and I apologize.
I'm gonna argue with you. Defend yourself.
That was one of those slow motion moments where I saw the spittle just coming out. So I love to argue.
I think you got my movie, not
is
me.
Is that what it is?
You got my movie on the table.
So I just loved arguing, and I still do. Like, I have to be right.
Really?
Yeah, I know. That's surprising.
What?
Everybody listening who knows me is like, what? There's no way. Brian likes to argue and be right? It's not that I like to be right. It's
You just like to be right.
No, I am right.
No, okay.
And I'm just convincing you that you're wrong.
We can carry on this conversation at some other point. I'm a daughter of a lawyer, so I can have some really strong.
We can do an entire podcast on it.
We can have fun with this.
Wow. So last night's episode was kind of one of the first episodes where really nobody else was in it.
No.
It was a great backstory of Beth.
Yeah, it basically was Beth, which was neat because, again, you've seen different, parts of the first season. Now the second season concentrate on Randall and Kate and, basically like Zoe, which was even a character that developed later on. So many of the other characters, you never really got that with Beth.
No. And she's not really one. She's a main character, but she's not one of the main characters. And I think just looking back, we've had Toby. Like, we learned about Toby's childhood.
Even we had a character development story and, episode on just Toby, too. We didn't ever have anything really with Beth, so I think it was necessary. And it kind of allowed you to connect with her in ways maybe you didn't before. Because I always liked her, but I always liked her and Randall.
Right.
Never just her. And seeing her story and her past and her passion, come to life again was so beautiful and was a way that I was able to connect with her on a, character level as well. And I'm like, this is really neat. It's really neat.
And there was a lot of tie-ins, not only, again, bumping into young Randall, but now we see why the flash forward was to her in a ballet school being, I don't know if she's just an instructor or whatever she is in the future.
Yeah, I think that's what
tied it in.
I think that's what she's shooting to do because, the episode kind of ends with her saying, with one of the current instructors there already saying, well, it seems like you know what you're doing. And, we have the beginner's class, what she's saying, like 20 minutes, but I think you're going to be bored out of your mind. Yeah. And she just kind of interjects and she's like, well, actually, I had a different idea. I had something else in mind. I want to teach.
And I think, unfortunately, as much as I love this, and even like seeing her and Randall, how well they got together in this episode, I think this is the beginning of the downfall.
I have a feeling too. Don't know how quite that's all going to happen because he's super supportive, Randall. But guess we're going to have to find out.
Well, in the after movie, she was in the after show, and they were talking about how this is going to put a lot of, because now they're both living their dreams pretty much, both working a lot. Who's going to step up to take care of the kids? Who's going to step up and take the responsibilities? So I think this may be the beginning of the end for Bethandle? Does that
Bethandle? Can we stop it? Can we stop it with the cutesy wootsy couple names? Okay, Bradley Cooper and Gaga Kakupu Bragaga and Bethaniel or Bethanana. Grapel. Let's just put Grapel at this point. Can we start introducing ourselves this way?
At April on air. Thank you so much for being part of the Totally Spoiled podcast.